Welcome back. You're still watching DayBreak, excuse me, on this 18th day of... The voice has not been used for 3 weeks, so please understand. We are talking about the empowerment rallies of what has been happening in the country, and we had gotten to the point of listening to the president talk about the many equipment that were being disbursed or distributed or displayed at State House, and saying that this is in line with the manifesto of the Kenya Kwanza leadership. Senator Nyuto, your thoughts about these empowerment rallies, but have you attended any?
No, and I wouldn't attend a forum where we just go lying to members of the public and, you know, purporting to be empowering them. Well, actually, I know that it's just a political platform that they are creating. And why do I say that it is just a political platform that they are looking for? If you listened to my friend and colleague, Senator Tabitha, she was not able to explain to you what they do, how they empower Kenyans in areas where the members of parliament or senators, particularly members of parliament, are not, you know, aligned to the blood-based government.
Sorry?
Yes, where the members
Broad-based.
No, you can call it broad, you can call it bread, and I call it blood-based these days because, of course, of the many youths that have been killed.
And the word on the show is broad-based. Carry on.
Yes, officially it's broad, but you know, it isn't. So what I was saying is, you know, if it was real empowerment, we would be thinking about a wholesome, we will look at Kenya as a unit, so that we have a program. And I'm happy when you talk about the structure, which is lucky. If we had a structure, then we would be happy to see even those areas where the members of parliament, for example, do not support this government, there is a program for them. And you know, you cannot tell us, because Tabitha here tells us that they identify somebody who is aligned and then they use that particular person. There are structures. If government wanted to empower Kenyans, even in an area where the representative does not support government, we have structures. We have, national administration. You can identify those that need to be assisted. But because they want to do politics, that's why they must get somebody who supports this government. And so that is one thing that tells you that it is just a political forum that they want to create. What else proves to you that they're not empowering people, they're just doing politics. Just look and listen to the speeches given by the leaders there. Half of what is said in any empowerment rally is about Rigathi Gachagua. And that's a fact. I mean, if you observe. So instead of talking about to the people what they're supposed to do for the resources that have been given to them to benefit them and to income generate, they will talk politics. They'll talk about Rigathi Gachagua. They'll talk about a particular community feeling entitled. They'll talk about just politics. Then the other thing is you look at even the people. I mean, the expenses that they are able to incur in order for them to deliver these empowerment programs. You will see a host of helicopters. And so you look at the expenses and the amount of money given, and then, of course, you'll be left asking more questions, and you'll have more questions than answers. You look also at there is no one time you will ever see a particular group, in a CBO, being issued a check. It is always in cash. Cash in money bags. And I challenge my colleague.
Let's explain.
That explains that it is actually not something that is structured. It is something that the source of these funds is questionable. And I listened very keenly to my colleague, Senator Tabitha, saying that this money is coming from leaders. Some I want to tell you, and Karoli Omondi here will tell you because he's a member of parliament. We know that every member of parliament, about 95% of members of parliament, when they get into parliament, they get a mortgage, whereby there are very few people, and I challenge Senator Tabitha to show you her payslip. There are very few leaders in that parliament who will get a net pay of about 50,000 per month. Very few, because almost all of it is eaten up by the repayment for mortgage.
How do you survive?
Well, by the grace of God, those who have some businesses. So when Tabitha says that it is coming from members of parliament, and you can identify a particular member of parliament who contributes 200,000 this week, you know, in one empowerment rally, maybe 1 week for about 3 times for some of them who are always there, you know. And when you know what they are, and I challenge them, if it is true, to make the returns, tax returns, you know, available so that we can find this member of parliament, because it is not coming from the earnings in parliament. That one I can assure you. This member of parliament has this business. This is what they earned in the previous financial year. This is what they filed with KRA. This is the amount that they were able to earn. So this is how then...
If a member of parliament is able to afford 200,000 shillings, where are they getting it from if it's not from...
Of course, it is given by the president or the deputy president. Remember, Sam...
No, not so fast. Given by the president or the deputy, from where?
That is now the other question, and it is always in cash. Of course, I may not have evidence, but of course it comes from parastatals, you know, from this ministry. You know, we need this kind of money, and of course we know that we have those confidential, you know, amounts that, of course, are with security agencies. I mean, and you know they're not subject to audit, and Karoli will tell you that. I mean, so these amounts of money. To answer your question, because I don't want to lose that line of thinking,
yep.
It is given, and remember, until recently, until last year, I was in Kenya Kwanza government, and so I know what happens in there.
What was happening?
Yes, so if the president, for example, comes to your constituency, I mean, and they have a Harambe, you'll be given some money to contribute.
Wait a minute.
Each one of you, you are given like maybe...
Senator,
yes.
You need to understand. You're Senator Muranga.
Yes.
So the president is coming. There's a harambe at...
yes.
I wish I could give an example of a church.
Yes.
You are given money which you will give at the harambe?
Yes, and that is why it is uniform. Every member of parliament, Tabitha, ametuongezea 1,200. Karoli, 1,200. That's why it's uniform.
And you proudly stand to say this is my contribution.
That's yes, but Junyu never did that, but that is what used to happen.
Okay.
Yes.
Mheshimiwa Karoli.
So, yes.
Let me hear from Mheshimiwa Mondi. By the way, you're in broad-based government. Yes, no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
ODM is, I'm part of ODM.
You're part of ODM, which is broad-based.
Yes.
Have you been in these empowerment events?
Actually, I did start an empowerment program for the women of Suba South a year and a half ago with the help of the president when he first made a visit there. Yeah. What we did is slightly different from what is happening now. We I'd encouraged the women to form groups, to do table banking, and to open bank accounts. And that process took us more than a year. So we organized them. There are groups that had been existing, there were new that were formed, but we organized them on their own. They did banking and collection of their own resources for more than a year and opened bank accounts. Then I had some people review the activities of each group. So the ones that we felt had done good work, the president assisted us with some money. I also put in some money.
Much?
And some friends. He gave me 10 million shillings for the women.
From what? Of
Suba South.
From where?
How would I know from where? But we agreed he'll help me with that. And we've been distributing that money to the various women groups. Based on their banking records and whatever they are doing. Let me explain something, Sam. This is uniquely Kenyan. When you're a politician, there are some things that you have to deal with. Let's take, for example, in Nairobi here, there's a food vendor, a single mother supporting her own family by selling tea and bread and mandazi at construction sites. 5,000 is probably the working capital that woman will need. Or there's a young man selling sugarcane on a wheelbarrow. Will need 10,000. Or there's a lady in Suba who buys omena every morning, dries it and sells it. Those are the kind of people or a mama mboga who has to go to the market every morning, buy something and sell. Yep. Those are the kind of people we were helping in this program. And ours has worked because we've put very strict guidelines. We have people who coach them, and we didn't want the money to be given and distributed among them. Yeah, it is for working. But this is not sustainable. Let's be frank about it. This is a measure that any politician would use just to jumpstart the kind of people I've described. It is not sustainable. Why is it not sustainable? If you want to help people get out of poverty, you must give them affordable credit. And that affordable credit must be something that goes in a cycle. If they borrow, they use, they pay back, yeah, with some small margin. Yeah. And you also help them transition into formal businesses. So these are the discussions we need to have. And also the problem we have, it is bigger than just trying to assist the low-level people. Government is borrowing too much from the markets. Yeah. Yeah. This year alone, I think the government will borrow, what, 480 billion? That will basically, if the bankers don't need to lend to the small people anymore, where do these guys access credit? Yeah. Especially the caliber of people I've described. So this is a sort of intervention which, in the long run, is not sustainable and makes, can help somebody earn a daily living, but will not transform the society. That's the way I see these empowerment initiatives. But the reality is, as a politician, people will approach you. You'll be at home there. There'll be a woman telling you, I want to go and invest in a small tailoring business. I need to go and buy materials. I need to go and buy this. I have an order to make uniforms. I have an order for this. This sort of fundraising, it's just a harambe, actually. Yeah. Helps.
So tell me, because you're saying that the president gave you 10 million shillings for the empowerment program in Suba South.
Yes.
And based on our estimates, the State House equipment could have cost more than $500 million shillings. And she is saying that much of it is from the president. Does that bother you as a member of parliament?
Where the money comes from?
Yeah.
Of course, I think, let's be practical. In terms of mobilizing resources of this nature, when it is $500 million, you can ask questions. But 5 million, 3 million, you can do a harambe with your friends. We do that all the time. That is just the way politics works in Kenya. No,
I'm asking.
Yes.
10 million shillings from the president for your constituency.
Yes.
He has many friends politically.
Yes.
Who will get, every other person will get 10 million or whatever the amount it is. Collectively, that's a lot of money.
I only know of my 10 million. He pledged it in public when we were there. If you remember, when we were launching the road, he pledged that he will assist the women. And the honor is pledged.
Karoli, you've been in this country. You remember there's even a church service that was, I believe it was in Kirinyaga, where Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki said that he's bringing, was it 5 million shillings from the president and his own 2 million shillings. On the same day, the president was in Soweto at a Catholic church, giving another amount of money in the millions. I mean, surely, wouldn't that bother a member of parliament of where this money is coming from?
For me, of course, you could ask yourself those questions. Yeah. But the reality is, it is the way our politics has been structured. Yeah, that is how.
By who? You don't see that in how we run our budgets, because your house passes the budget.
Yes.
Based on particular provisions, particular votes, particular programs. Those things you're talking about here are not contained in that budget.
Yeah, but not everything I do is in the budget as a person. I have other sources of income streams.
No, I'm talking
about, to believe the president.
I'm talking about the leadership of the country.
Yes, I would want to believe when the president made the pledge to support the women group of Suba South, he didn't do it from the national budget. Yeah. Yes. He said he will support them with his own money. And he asked that we give him time, and we gave him time, about a year. And by the way, he didn't give us the money all at once. He would give us $1 million, 2 million. We would go and I add some and I distribute, and then until we finished after about a year.
Okay.
In fact, we have not even distributed the whole amount. There's a small portion, because we wanted to see the way the others the other women groups would perform. There are others who are left behind.
But it's still about borrowing and repaying.
Yes, they are table banking. They are borrowing, repaying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Senator Mutina, there's something you wanted to say, but also a question that Senator Newton raised with you during the break about some young Kenyans who've been complaining that they went to State House, they left, but they didn't receive anything. They didn't receive a motorbike. They've been complaining. They've complained to Citizen TV. There has been a statement by Hussein Mohammed, the spokesperson of State House, disputing the facts as alluded by those young people. What is the position as you know it?
Sam, a very simple question. Out of the 1,000 Kenyans who are in State House for the empowerment for the president, only one Kenyan? Only one Kenyan is the one who's complaining? Who's broadly coming out and saying he did not receive whatever he was supposed to receive? What does that tell you? Politics. One person being used to try and perpetuate lies. And the gentleman actually was more specific to my colleague, Senator Nyamu. He said that he's the one who had invited him. And I spoke to Karen. I asked her, what is happening? Is this the case? And she categorically stated that there's nothing like that. This guy was not part of the people who are benefiting from, what do you call it, the bikes. Mm-hmm. And these are just politics. Number two, what you need to realize that the groups, the way they were presented, and I said earlier, groups arranging people, the people who are in that group are arranging from 1 to 30, 1 to 25, 1 to 15. But the number that was agreed that would attend the State House meeting, yep, empowerment, was only 10 people per group, only 10. So if you were probably number 11 that group, then you were cut off, mm-hmm, and all the groups were informed of the same information. So only 10 people were actually coming to receive whatever they requested for. Mm-hmm. And this, whatever they requested for, was being handed over to the chairperson of that particular group. Mm-hmm. But because this young gentleman was more specific to the bikes, the people who are receiving bikes were specific. They were receiving messages. They could not enter without that verification. And they were also, there was quite a process. Yeah. They had to key in their details again. They had to be verified that they were the same people. Like, they had to be confirmed and all that. And they were the ones who were issued with those bikes. So this young one, only one person coming out, he knows why he's coming out, whoever is using him. There's one person.
There's Dickens Kamau Odhiambo, there's Collins Otwala, who are giving their own story about what exactly happened.
How many people are those?
No, just a moment. I mean,
okay, sorry.
There's qualitative research, there's quantitative research. Correct. So let's work with qualitative for now on what exactly they're saying, because they also need to be heard. Yes. So they're saying that this is Dickens, nikaambiwa nitoke nje ya gate D, hapo nikakutana na walinzi wa GSU wakaniambia nimeshatoa taarifa zangu niende nyumbani. Nikawauliza watajuaje nyumbani kwangu, wakasema watatumia Truecaller. Nilipouliza zaidi wakanifukuza. So you're saying that he was promised. The other one was, he even took a photo holding a motorbike but didn't go home with it. Could there be a situation where proper communication is not being made on what exactly this is supposed to be?
Some, you've stated 2 people. I was keen. Yeah. Only 2 people. The same question I'm asking. Out of the many Kenyans, the many Nairobians who are in status, only 2 people are complaining. Number 2, people were allowed to come in with their phones that particular day. The president allowed, because most of the times we go to State House, we have to put our phones aside. Yeah. All Kenyans were allowed, and all Kenyans were allowed, the ones who were in State House, to take photos, to feel happy, to feel nice in terms of what was happening. So even if someone took a photo with item A, item B, they were entitled, and it is okay. There's no problem with taking a photo. It doesn't mean when I take a photo in this studio that I own this studio. I'm just happy to be, you know, in the place I am at that particular time, and I want to remember, so I'll take a photo. Taking a photo is not an indication that you are given that particular bike. And with all honesty, it is very simple. Extremely very simple, and honesty does not cost. They just need to state that I, person X, was called in by Honorable so and so.
Right.
These are the details that I issued. You understand?
Yeah.
And this is what I was told I would receive. It's as simple as that. They could have come in through the groups of the CBO registration of the 10 members. They might not have been part of the people even who are benefiting from the bike in one way or the other. And it's a very simple thing. It's just someone to clearly state that, for example, I was called by Senator so-and-so or Mheshimiwa so-and-so. I wanted to respond to what my brother Newton talked about earlier as far as this issue of empowerment is concerned. And I heard him clearly talk about the issues of the helicopters that we've been using here and there. You use a helicopter because you want to save on time. You want to arrive somewhere. And these are helicopters that him also has been using before he left our coalition, Kenya Kwanza. He's been there. Why is it that it doesn't suit him right now when we use this chopper so that we are able to save that time? Because in the eastern region that I've been attending, I'm part of the empowerment that I attend, we've been doing 2 empowerments in a day. So for you to move from this region and be able to also to move to the other region, you cannot manage on road transport. So helicopters have been really helping us in terms of time management. And there's nothing wrong with that, because even when he was in the same side, they've been using the same. Number 2, the issues of the checks. The empowerment that I've attended, especially for Kangundo, where we have Mheshimiwa Honorable Fabian, yeah. I personally was holding checks and, giving to the groups that he had identified. Okay. Mheshimiwa Caleb of Machakos town, the other day we were there. He issued checks to his people, So either you issue check or you issue cash, it's a mode of giving money. So there's no problem. But when he says that he's never seen checks, I'm just updating him. You can go to my page for Facebook. You'll see that I've also posted where we've been able to give our people those checks, because most of them actually have accounts.
Which is the paying bank account? It's registered under who?
The person who's paying it is actually, most of the time is actually for the member of parliament, which is easier because it's the one giving that particular money. It can also be given through M-Pesa. There's no problem. So what would have been a challenge?
Check,
yes.
Under your name.
Yes.
Let's say you're distributing 4 million shillings.
Correct.
The figure that is said.
Correct.
So this money, who deposited it there?
The member would deposit it there.
From where?
From what has been collected.
So you collect in that event.
Yes.
You deposit in your account.
Yes.
Then you write checks and you come and...
You've already written checks. Yeah. Okay. All you just need to do is just write the amount, depending on what would have been contributed. Remember, you do not want to have so many meetings of the same people, because our schedules are too busy. This is a day
so the
event.
Checks issued on the same day of the
most of they are issued by the end of the day, but because these people we want to finish on that business.
Are they bankable on the day because you're yet to deposit?
One, they can bank on the same day, they can bank on the following day, there's no problem. What I was responding to is that checks have been issued, because he stated that there's nowhere that checks have been issued. What I'm trying to state is that checks have been issued, and checks are normally issued. Even myself, if I would do my own empowerment, I would actually prepare checks and give them checks immediately after the function, because then if I don't do that, it will mean I have to call them again and start disbursing the same amounts again. He talked about that we are not involving the members who are not affiliating to government. There is no member who has been told not to affiliate. It is your choice. It's a willing buyer, willing seller. And when we go to the ground and there's no the elected member is from another coalition and does not want in any way to affiliate himself, as he categorically stated himself, that he doesn't want to associate with Kenya Kwanza. You can't force anybody. Okay. But that does not mean we are not doing empowerment in Murang'a County. Okay. In Murang'a County, empowerment has been done. If he wants to affiliate, well and good. If he doesn't want to affiliate, well and good. Okay. When Oscar Sudi, let me finish on that. When Oscar Sudi did his empowerment and gave people motorbikes, car wash, and all these machine posho mills and all those kind of equipments, the Mount Kenya leaders woke up and started saying, look, you are only coming to give our people rice and beans. But in the other region, Rift Valley, you are giving your people, equipments to be able to do business. And it was helter-skelter, like, why are you supporting them like that? Why can't you support also our people here to be able to do the same business? Right. Today, as we speak, the same has been done by the president and us, the leaders, by giving the people the equipment.
Right.
Why is it wrong right now?
Senator.
You can't have your cake and eat it. And lastly, whoever alleges must prove. He's talking about money that is being given by the executive to the members of parliament to be able to contribute. Every member has his own funds. And people have their own businesses. If you are not, you know, well liquidated, it is your own cake to eat it.
Senator, that has never happened to you. You've not been given money to...
No, me, I'm not given. Why should I be given money? I am never forced to go to those Harambes. I personally take myself, I contribute to what I can be able to contribute. Right. People are running businesses in this town. People have are liquidated in one way or the other. And when you asked about where the president is also getting this money from, president has got buddies, has got friends who are also supporting him. What is wrong with that? If you do not have friends, I mean, that's upon you.
On that note of friendship,